Microphone check, check. Hello, Blue Jay fans, and welcome to Bondurant, Iowa for this non-conference battle between the Newton Cardinals and your Bondurant Farrar Blue Jays. Patrick Meyer here with Chad Carlson on the call tonight. How are you doing, Chad?
I'm doing great. I got outside, enjoyed a little bit of the warm weather.
Did you get a bike ride?
With my dog, Rizzo.
Oh.
We had a little walk. Rizzo can't quite keep up on the bike. I did think about the bike, but we'll get there here sooner than later, right?
Yeah. Got a few miles to put in this summer.
Yes, we'll get after it.
But still basketball season, so here tonight we got the 10-9 overall Newton Cardinals, 6-7 in conference, versus the Bondurant Farrar Blue Jays, 13-6 overall, 11-5 in conference, as we gear up for the postseason starting next week. So this is just a little bit of non-conference action this week for both teams. The Cardinals are going to be starting lineup number 1. Jake Engel, a junior guard. Number 2, Caleb Mattis, a sophomore guard. Number 3, Brody Bauer, a junior guard. Number 22, Adam Mattis, a senior guard. And number 34, Cale Swartz, a senior forward. And for your Blue Jays, number 3, Trey McDowell, senior guard. Number 4, Colby Collison, junior forward. Number 5, Nolan Myers, senior guard. Number 10, Jackson Freed, junior guard. And number 34, Everett White, junior forward. Blue Jays coming in, averaging just under 64 points a game, and for the Cardinals, just under 53. So we'll see whose point per game that leans towards as we get ready to go. Got the in-house starting lineups coming out here. So
yeah, it's a real interesting matchup. You know, both teams coming out of really, really good conferences. Of course, Newton not unfamiliar with quality opponents when they see the likes of Pella and Norwalk and DCG every year, and they had a nice win over Pella a couple weeks back. So a little something for the Blue Jays to gauge themselves against tonight, as there's stand a good chance of picking up a second-round game with Pella. And I think the hard part for both teams on a night like this is they've made it through the rigors of their conference seasons. The anticipation of postseason is coming. You know, it's almost like a preseason NFL game. What is there to play for?
Like a trap game.
Yeah. And what there is to play for is to continue that momentum. You know, the Blue Jays got tripped up a little bit by Winterset on Friday night, and they want to come back, beat a quality Newton opponent, and really gear up for tournaments with what is an excellent Indianola team, an excellent 4A Indianola team out of the same conference that Newton's out of on Thursday. So there's a lot to play for, and you don't want to start getting back into any bad habits at this point in the season.
We'll step aside for the national anthem, and then we'll be right back. All right, as you mentioned, good chance of us meeting up with Pella in the second game of postseason. But before that, we host Creston on Monday night.
Not so fast as you would say.
Fast.
Yeah, first things first, we got to take care of business in the first round. But really, at this time of year, you don't take anybody lightly. It's the pedal to the metal, and you better be ready to go. Interesting jump ball formation by Newton here.
Freed and Swartz for the jump. Freed gets it back to McDowell.
That's called a defensive tip there. They had no intent of winning that tip.
Just to get that in there, I did get confirmation we will be streaming that first postseason game as Freed shot is no good, rebounded by Bauer.
Nice take by Jackson Freed. Didn't quite finish at the hoop.
Bauer for three, off the back of the rim, no good. Collison takes it away from McDowell for the rebound. Collison back out to Meyer.
Yeah, good patience there.
Freed gets it to White, double teamed Collison for three, good.
Yeah, Colby passed up a highly contested three in the lane to settle for that nice or highly contested bucket in the lane and got the three instead on a wide open look.
Bauer to Engel. Engel
see if I can
gets it out of the trap.
See if I can not trip over my own mouth here anymore tonight.
Highly
unlikely, Patrick.
Swartz with the ball now. Over to the younger Mattis. Engel pump fake. Over to Mattis in the corner. Off the rim, no good. Swartz tips it out to Engel.
Long rebounds.
3-point attempt. Bauer, or no good. Actually, it was a free throw, wasn't it? But rebound Blue Jays. McDowell at the top now.
Both teams in a man-to-man.
McDowell swings it out to the top for Freed. Over to Meyer in the corner. Swartz doing a good job of trying to press White out. Foul on the shot.
Coach Evans imploring his team to show a little motion, a little stagnant standing around there in that action. But Trey McDowell, when Trey comes off a screen, catches the ball coming from the post, his three-point percentage has to be incrementally higher.
Yeah.
He does have a unique ability to shoot off the bounce, but his ability when it's off the pass is pretty impressive.
Trey hits 2 out of the 3 free throws.
Little three-quarter court press out of the Blue Jays, going to force the action here.
Swartz to Bauer to Engel, cross court to Mattis. Engel at the top trying to use that screen. Tries to go around White. White's pretty tall. Goes for the layup attempt. Everett got a piece of it. Bounces it off Colby's head. Ball ahead to Nolan, who's fouled on the shot.
Yeah. What we saw in that last defensive possession is really indicative of what the Blue Jays are able to do that a lot of teams aren't. Everett White switched off out of the pressure onto one of the Newton guards, and Everett is athletic enough. He can guard anybody on the court. And similarly, Trey McDowell, Nolan Meyer, they're going to battle with any of the bigs in the post. Maybe not a 6'7" or 6'8" guy that they get switched off on, but they're going to do that. But just a perfect example, Everett causing that pressure and eventually getting the block shot, leading the ball to come the other way.
Meyer hits the first one. Cardinals sub in Cole Plowman, and 13 was the other one. That's Tate Vanderlane. Meyer hits them both. Mattis with the ball. Over to Bauer.
Good job by Trey McDowell not fouling there at the half-court trap. Just really playing with his hands and torso.
Adam Mattis was posted up inside Trey, went for the bucket, but Everett got a piece of it. I think then Everett just got called for the foul on the rebound.
Yeah, got a piece of arm there.
Yep. It looked funny when Adam went up for that ball, so. Plowman with it. Vanderlane. Now Bauer coming around the corner, kicks it back out. Cody Mattis. Three is up and rolls in. Or Caleb Mattis, I'm sorry.
3 for 2. Yeah, just kind of got lost in the shuffle there.
Nolan out to Collison, swings it around to Freed. Freed for a deep 3. Good.
Got it.
Blue Jays get that press back going now after the made 3. Mattis driving to the hoop. Left hand layup, no good. Meyer comes away with the loose ball. Pushing it ahead. And looked like the Cardinal player was in position like he might be able to draw a charge, but didn't keep his feet still and allowed Meyer to draw that.
Yep.
That was Tate Vanderlane, his first foul.
Good aggressive play by Nolan, and I think the Cardinal coach is arguing right now that, maybe that's a no call. I certainly don't think it was a charge, but maybe it was a no call, but going to get the foul early. We'll see if this game is continued to be called this way, and Nolan just keeps knocking down free throws.
Titus Cram preparing to check in. Meyer misses the first one. White gets the tip into the hands of Vanderlane, and they call a jump ball. Good job by Meyer tying that ball up, and Titus Cram checks in. Everett White to the bench.
Pretty quick on the jump ball call, but earn us another possession later in the game.
Ball into Caleb Mattis. Cross court to Vanderlane.
But Jackson
Plowman.
Freed's length is just problematic out there with that pressure.
Plowman with the ball, kicks it back out, swings it around. Bauer for three, and he hits it. Cram with the open ball. Jump skip, lays it in. No good. Adam Mattis with the rebound. Pushes it ahead. Bauer to Caleb Mattis. That's Plowman for three, and he hits. So all 9 points for the Cardinals have come off three-pointers.
Yeah.
They are a 30% three-point shooting team on the season. Collison crosses over, right-hand lay-in, good.
Pretty move by Colby.
Plowman with it. Cross court to Adam Mattis. Mattis driving through the middle of the lane. And Colby stepped in front of that, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Colby.
Maybe Colby did not quite have his shoulders squared to the defender, but really looked like or to the offensive player, but really looked almost like a player control type situation. No big argument from Coach Travis Evans. No. I think we're seeing a little bit of a different theme out of the Blue Jays in this game, and not settling for three-point shots. There's been a couple of threes made so far, but getting to the free throw line, getting into the paint, and scoring that way too is good variety, and they're going to need to do more of that as they go into this postseason stretch.
Mattis hits both free throws. Blue Jays ahead 13-11 with 3:22 on the clock.
First points for Mattis is their leading scorer.
Freed. Ooh, I thought he was going up with it. McDowell driving in, kicks it out to Meyer. Meyer's going to find Collison on the other side. Adam Mattis out there on Freed. Collison now with it, has an advantage on Bauer, and he's going to try to go to work on that. Right hand doesn't get the bounce. Titus reaches in, isn't able to come away with the ball. Adam Mattis now pushing ahead. Underneath the Plowman. Plowman left hand up and good.
Nice job by Plowman, just kind of holding that post position and working down in the lane and getting the finish.
Freed over to McDowell. McDowell for three, off the rim, no good. Plowman gets that rebound. Caleb Mattis to Adam Mattis. Vanderlane now over to Bauer. Bauer crossover. Out to Plowman, now back out to Caleb Mattis at the top. Meyer tipped it away, but Mattis is able to get it back.
Ooh, looks like could have been a travel there.
Vanderlane, turn around, right hand up, no good. Adam Mattis with the rebound, puts it up, no good. Titus Cram with the rebound.
Good
Blue Jays pushing ahead. McDowell out to Meyer. Now Collison's going to drive, kicks it out to Cram. Cram turn, fade, no good. Adam Mattis with the rebound. Tries to kick it ahead. McDowell steps in front of it. He's got a path to the basket. Right hand lay in. Good. Good anticipation by Trey on that pass. Bauer in the lane. Shot no good. Collison gets the rebound. Hits Meyer on the break. Freed for three. Oh, just kidding. It's a good pump fake. He had me. McDowell for two. Rattles home.
Little offense by Trey McDowell after the Blue Jays had gotten out to a fast start. Newton came back, tied it up there at 13, and a couple of buckets by Trey and back up 4.
We're under a minute in the first quarter. Blue Jays up 17-13. Vanderlane with the ball at the top. Bauer out top to Caleb Mattis, now back to Vanderlane. Plowman gets it to Adam Mattis.
See if they're going to play for one shot here.
We're at 25 seconds now. It seems that way. And then they get it into Plowman. He turns around. No good on the shot. Collison comes away with the rebound. And we're at about 16 seconds. So we'll hold for one shot. Blue Jays spread out everybody.
Little dribble handoff to Colby here.
Collison turns in the lane, fades, and hits the bucket with 2 seconds to go. And that that clock's gonna run out before they even get the ball picked up.
Couldn't have worked out any better there at the end of the quarter. A little 6-0 run to end after Newton came back, and like you said, they got hot from 3, tied it up at 13, but then a steal by Trey McDowell, another bucket on the jump off the bounce by Trey, and then Colby with the finish there at the end of the quarter, which Coach Evans' teams have traditionally done really well at the end of quarters, out of timeouts. That's a sign that a team's working on those things in practice, on those special situations. And head 19-13 headed into the second quarter. But I just don't feel like this is a Newton team that's going to go away real quick.
No, it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that shooting percentage high. Because overall, I mean, they're 43% from the field on the season, which is a decent number. But the 30% three-point percentage is not what they're hitting right now in this game.
Right, right. They're hotter tonight, for sure. Of course, Newton is home to Garrett Sturtz, Drake Bulldog basketball player, and got to see Garrett play in this gym a couple of times when he was in high school against the Blue Jays. Saw a lot of him on the club circuit watching my son play against him. Just a super player. Heady, smart, pretty good example of what you would want your Newton basketball player to play like if you were a Newton kid.
Blue Jays bring Falsgraf, and Collison goes up. No good on the shot. Gets his own rebound, put back, and gets the 2 there.
Colby getting his work done early in this game. He's not going to mess around and get all his points in the second half.
Right. Falsgraf, Sani, and Berggren into the game, along with Everett White returning to the game. So Blue Jays subbed in 4 guys. Vanderlane for 3.
Newton runs some good action. I like the action they're running. A lot of screening, really making the defense work, talk. Blue Jays are going to have to communicate, or they're going to see a lot of open looks like that tonight.
Collison for 3. Good.
Yeah, this could be one of those nights for him.
Now Falsgraf at the top of that defense. Another tall, lengthy kid. Falsgraf pushing ahead. Over to Collison. Collison gives it back to White. White drives up. No good, and he's going to get a foul called on Plowman.
Got bodied. You know what really impressed me on that possession was Reed Falsgraf was looking for the hot man. He knew Colby Collison just knocked down a couple of buckets, hit the 3. He was looking for him early on that fast break. Found him, but turns out Everett got a good shot at the rim and got a trip to the free throw line. Makes his first.
It seems like the last few games Reed has been playing more like he's the point guard position. Is that what you've seen?
Well, you know, without Trey or Nolan in there, he kind of assumes that role. not to look forward to next year too much, but you kind of wonder with the 5 guys that have seen significant time coming back, if Reed's going to get a little more point guard action. I know there's some good young point guards, as we'll see.
Vanderland hit
another 3, and Coach Evans not happy with that. A little miscommunication again, and again, Newton's not going to go away, especially if our defense doesn't communicate better, because they run good action, a lot of screen away stuff, down screens. If you're not communicating, you're gonna give up open shots, and so far they've proven that they can hit those open shots. But going back to next year, the 5 guys returning, Reed is I don't want to say he's the heir apparent to be the next point guard, because there's some good young guys in the system. I've talked to Coach Evans about, but
he's been getting some reps
He's been getting some reps, and really with Colby on the floor, with Titus on the floor,
Everett and Jackson.
Yeah, outside of Everett, who can handle the ball pretty well for a big, any of those guys can bring the ball up against the floor, beat pressure. So a really good problem to have.
Well, I'm just thinking, with Reed being 6'3", that's a pretty tall point guard. Collison for 3, he's good.
Yeah. Colby even holds up the 3 fingers, which you don't see that from him very often, but I think he's feeling pretty good tonight.
Engel, floater, it's in, and he's fouled.
And you don't, with all due respect to the vertically challenged, you don't want to see the shortest guy on the court come down the middle of the lane and hit a floater, against your 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" guys.
Well, that was the only way to get it over those guys.
Well, true.
Engel hits the free throw to convert the 3-point play.
You sure don't want to give him an and-one opportunity.
5:45 on the clock in the second quarter here. Blue Jays up 28-22. Berggren swings it over to White. White to Falsgraf. Engel's guarding Falsgraf. Berggren for 3. Off the rim, no good. And Everett White is able to throw it out to Carter Sandy now.
This is definitely about as big a lineup as the Blue Jays can go with, too.
It can't get a lot bigger. Falsgraf in the lane, right-hand lay-in, good.
Short of having Jackson Freed in the game, which he's getting ready to check in, this would be about as big as you can get.
Engel feeds Mattis underneath, right-hand reverse lay-in.
4 for their leading scorer.
Falsgraf gets it out to White. White goes cross-court to Berggren. Blue Jays have several subs coming in, as do the Cardinals. White, right hand, has it blocked out of bounds by Plowman. It's going to stay Blue Jay ball. Freed, McDowell, and Meyer in for the Blue Jays. Bauer and Caleb Mattis in for the Cardinals.
And they are the Cardinals, not the Cardinal, like that school that has a
the tree?
Conifer tree for a mascot.
Good decision by Everett not to try to touch that before it went across half court.
Blue Jays had built their lead to, was it 9 or 11, and now Newton just kind of hanging around.
Collison, right-hand lay-in, no good. Everett White gets the rebound, shot up, and good, and the foul. Good rebound and work down low by Everett.
Great job by Everett, showing some strength in there too.
That foul was on Trayson Garton, who I didn't announce coming into the game, but he is in the game and earned himself a foul.
He's in the game and in the book.
White's shot is no good. Rebound chased down by Brody Bauer. Blue Jays in more of a zone now.
Yep.
Garton with the ball. Over to Bauer. Bauer for 3. Off the rim, no good. Jackson Freed rips down the rebound.
Almost looked like Trey might have got a piece of that shot. Good contest for sure.
Collison gets it over to McDowell. Now Freed at the top of the key. Meyer over to Freed.
Newton stays in there man-to-man.
Freed drives, has it. Had it knocked away. Must have thought he touched it last, so he went to save it and ended up on the line.
Yeah, Looks like they got a lot of hand on Jackson Freed too there, but
Cardinals are going to take a timeout. Now is a good time for us to thank our sponsor for all basketball broadcasts. That's the Bird's Nest, who's been a great partner for the Blue Jay Digital. And
how fitting for them to be the sponsor tonight too. You got the Blue Jays and the Cardinals, but we're not letting any Cardinals in that.
In the Bird's Nest?
No. I'm sorry, Patrick. I interrupted.
I may have referenced this place as the Bird's Nest a few times in the past, although I don't think I've called it that this year because I don't want to confuse people with our wonderful sponsor and think that, they sponsored the entire gymnasium.
If they want to sponsor a new gym, we'd be glad to accept any donations.
My guess is they aren't rolling that high. A gym is kind of expensive, but
just 3 or 4 million would probably get us pretty close to where we need to be.
And Trey reaches in and he gets the jump ball on Garton. Stays Cardinal ball at 3:25 on the clock.
It just steals you a possession later in the game. A couple of those now. Hustle plays. Stay in that 2-3 zone.
So you got Bauer, Caleb Mattis, Plowman, Vanderlane, and Garton on the court for the Cardinals. Meyer, McDowell, White, Collison, and Freed for the Blue Jays.
Newton trying to get the high post touches there and see if that can open up some three-point shooters, but right now Blue Jays have the floor covered really, really well.
Caleb Mattis shot up and gets it to go.
Yeah, pretty nifty there.
His 5th point of the game.
This Newton team has a lot of balances, coming into the game. A lot of guys averaging in that 8, 9, 10-point range, and makes the team tough to guard. There's no one weak link out there. They're all capable of filling it up. Lazy pass by Nolan.
Bauer ends up with the ball and tried to do a wraparound pass and ended up chased down by Caleb Mattis, who gets it out to Vanderlane. In the paint to Plowman. Left hand doesn't get it to go. Collison with the rebound. 2 minutes on the clock here this half.
Getting under 2 here.
Freed pump fake drives. Lay is in good.
Good finish by Jackson. Showing some versatility there, not settling for that 3, getting to the rim, finishing the bucket.
Plowman kicks it out to Caleb Mattis. Mattis thought about it, pump fakes, shoots anyway. No good. Loose ball back into the hands of Mattis.
It's really been a half-court game, Patrick. Not a lot of transition for either team, and few turnovers. Low on the turnovers, which kind of eliminates that fast break game.
Caleb Mattis shot again, no good. Vanderlane went up for it. Looked like maybe some contact, nothing called, as has been kind of the case. They've been letting things go, and so
couple possessions there. I think Coach Evans talking to his team about right now, just not rebounding well on the defensive end and giving Newton some second chances. They're kind of dodging that bullet and not giving up buckets on those second chances. But
we're a minute 14 on the clock this half. Freed over to Collison. Collison's going to drive to the lane, and he gets fouled by Cole Plowman for his second foul.
Yeah, he's got 2 now. And Plowman's kind of their one big inside that kind of matches up with some of the Blue Jay bigs. Was watching Colby Collison away from the ball there. You talk about Garrett Sturtz from Newton. If there's a player on the court that's, I don't want to throw too high a praise on Colby at this point. He's a junior, and Garrett Sturtz is in his 4th year at Drake. But Colby moves so well away from the basketball, and they set up some good stuff for him with some screening and, with him the intended scorer, and he just has such good body control, similar to a Sturtz.
Colby hits one of the 2. Rebound Bauer. Engel with it now. A minute on the clock. Plowman looking for Adam Mattis underneath. Tipped off a Blue Jay. Staying Cardinal ball. 54 seconds.
I think there might have been a second touch by Mattis there, but I don't think we'll get the benefit of instant replay here.
I feel really confident we won't. Ooh, that had to be close to 5 seconds. Blue Jays get the ball. McDowell pushing ahead over to Meyer. Meyer lay in off the backboard and good.
That's just a lot of athleticism from Nolan Meyer. Just a lot of athleticism. Nice pass by Trey McDowell, but good body control. Just running the floor well, and there's a fast break opportunity that we haven't seen a lot of.
Caleb Mattis to Plowman if he sees him. Bauer was under the hoop open.
Yeah, just didn't rotate down. A little bit of a gamble there.
About 22 seconds on the clock.
Going to play for one. A little something different. No, not the same dribble handoff, at least not yet, that we saw earlier with Colby.
Blue Jays looking to get to double-digit lead on this shot. Freed drives, pulls up, short, rebound. Caleb Mattis, full court, off the rim. So we're going to go 37-28 into halftime.
We got a special guest coming up here.
I heard that. You want to introduce him? Is
Absolutely.
he on his way up?
Absolutely.
You want to wait till he gets here?
He's sure.
All right, I'm going to hand off my microphone, and you can enjoy a halftime without me.
All right, we've got Blue Jay girls head coach, Mr. Ben Anderson, with us right now, joining us here at halftime. This is kind of a special treat to have a halftime guest. Usually Patrick and I get to put the microphone down, and people don't have to listen to us anymore, but now we get you. We got some shenanigans going on here at halftime, too. What do we got going on here?
Well, I'm not quite sure. I think they pay $1 and then they get some money back if they make a free throw, right?
It's pay something to get double.
Well, I mean, Lappy's having a hard time with free throws right now, and now she's got a football helmet on, so I don't know if this is going to go well for her.
She's needed that helmet a time or two this year. She's taken a beating a few times, but given one out a little bit more frequently. Why don't you talk, Coach, a little bit about Kate Lappy, the season she's had, Mia Miller, just to start with those two outstanding performers and returning letter winners from your team, and the kind of season they've had.
Well, I think it obviously you start with your seniors and your seniors who have had some playing time, and I think that, both Mia and Kate have had, outstanding careers even prior to this season starting. And I think, when you look at the heart and soul of a team, you've got a point guard and a post, you've got a pretty good shot. So especially when they're talented and experienced. And so I think that really helps us out. And, it helps those role players and those other starters that maybe haven't had as many minutes on a court. It just helps them to be a little more confident. So, yeah. I mean, that's where it kind of starts for us.
I like to refer to him as Stockton to Malone. Yeah. Just there's so much fun to watch, and so much the case in that final game here last week against Winterset. We're going to watch Kate here step to the line, see if she can knock this thing down. I think she's going Rick Barry underhand style.
See,
just a little bit outside.
It was one more shot to get a practice shot up. I don't know.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I think that that last game was just kind of I don't want to say a big word like a microcosm, but I think when you look at our season as a whole, I can just see Mia heading down the court, throwing a little behind the back pass to her for a layup at the end, and I think that just is how much fun they've wanted to have all year, and that might be about as much fun as they've had for 5 seconds in a game this year. So
yeah, and just fun for Blue Jay fans watching on the YouTube, and watch those of us that are fortunate enough to be able to watch them here in person. Talk a little bit more about your other seniors and what they've meant to the program.
Yep, for sure. I think you're seeing some of them kind of starting to stand out a little bit. Rebecca's had about as good of a second half of a season as anybody for us in the last couple of years, and I think that, when you're talking about development, I don't think she saw the floor for us last year hardly at all, and she's turned out to be a really good athlete for us and a scorer, when we've needed her to be. But you can't put a number on what like Annika and Dearden and Lauren Osborne bring to us, because those two kids don't get out on the floor very often, but in practice they're just killing it and making us better. And I think they knew at least coming into the season that would be at least the start for their role. But Lauren's had to come in some pretty big moments for us in the first half of some games, and you know what, she's held her own. She's gotten some rebounds, she's gotten some outlet passes, and heck, she's even scored a few points for us. So she knows she just knows the game in terms of in her mind. She's just trying to play mistake-free, and she does a pretty good job of it for us. And I think that, her toughness and her stoutness in practice helps Kate become a better ball player and Chesney become better ball players. But, the seniors have really done a nice job for us and led us in a really good direction.
You mentioned Chesney, and I put Chesney and Rebecca right there together as probably your most improved players this year. And the thing I love about Chesney is, I say this every night, everybody probably thinks I'm the president of the Chesney Steenhook fan club. And, she does have some Prairie City roots in her blood there, so I like to mention that as well. But she might have a moment where her shot's blocked or she misses a shot, but she always comes right back. She doesn't hang her head. She doesn't pout. And that could be that her mother, who sits right next to you on the bench, isn't gonna stand for that. But maybe talk a little bit about Chesney and Hannah Green, Peyton Meyer, and how they've factored into your rotation and the strides that they've made during the course of the season.
Well, I think what the three of those kids can do for us is it's any one of them on any given night, and I think that's where they just don't know. I think they understand how important it is to have them all be on at once, and we just have never gotten there this year. But at least if one of them hasn't, had their A game that night, maybe two others have. But it starts. Chesney's there to take some pressure off of Kate, and we don't often see that enough. But I know that she's very reliable and dependable, and just as solid as can be as a sophomore. And she really started to gain her roots last year in the state tournament. She played some important minutes for us, and for what it's worth, shot the only 2 free throws for us in the state tournament game. So
how does that happen?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh!
She shot 2 of them for sure.
Yeah.
She is a funny, nice kid to have around too, and I could say the same for Hannah Green. And I think I heard you say it best. In the first 5 games of the season, she wasn't even looking to shoot the basketball, and you
couldn't have given her $1 million.
No, you couldn't have forced her to do it. And now, gosh, she hit probably, you could argue, one of the biggest shots in that Gilbert game for us.
Second biggest.
Well,
shot.
Yeah, other
second
than the winner,
but
I think that what her and Peyton bring is any given night. There's 3 or 4 threes that could go in from those guys as well, but. Defensively, I think Hannah's just long and lean and can handle quite a few things. She's versatile on the defensive end is what I'm trying to say. But I think that in the end, still getting experience. That's just kind of where it's at. And
Hannah is all kinds of problems at the top of that 2-3 zone with her length, similar to a Reed Falsgraf or a Jackson Freed for the Blue Jay boys team. Just teams don't. You can't imitate that in practice very often. You don't have kids that can do that. But so let's talk a little bit about the postseason coming up.
Yep.
You wait the winner of Newton and Norwalk. They play tomorrow night. It would appear that Norwalk's probably going to be that team. I checked earlier today. It looked like they had a 30-point and a 40-point win over Newton earlier this year. So you would assume Norwalk. What do you expect from a Norwalk team, assuming that it's going to be them?
Well, I think that they'll start defensively on us, probably about 3/4 court pressure. I know they do a little bit of a 1-2-2 just to kind of get you to slow down and throw some bad passes, but they'll mix it up and play man and zone. They've got a couple bigs that can play, and they got a pretty good guard in the I think it's the Bice girl, if I can't remember her name very well, but I've watched a couple of halves of some games with them. They're in a pretty tough league too. I think when you're looking at across the state, you got the little Hawkeye for girls basketball, and you got the Raccoon River, and I think that brings about a lot of good basketball. And they hung with Dallas Center Grimes. In the first half of a game, and then all of a sudden you blink an eye and they're down 20.
I checked the BC Moore rankings today for girls, and in 4A it's 1, 2, 3, DCG, Grinnell, Indianola. I'm not sure what 2, 3. I might have in the wrong order.
Yep.
And then a bunch of teams from our league in the top 10, including your team at number 10 right now. And for those of you out there that don't know the BC Moore rankings, Google BC Moore with an E, Moore, and it's kind of a power rankings for high school teams based on their strength of schedule, margin of victory, and so forth. It's not a perfect science, but it gives a pretty good indication of who you've played against.
Yeah, I think when you look at the top 10 and you throw in, I'm assuming Glenwood's in there too, and I haven't really checked it out too much, but
you're worried about your own team.
Yeah, no, when
understandably.
when you get 9 out of 10 of Central Iowa teams that you could face on any given night, it's just kind of interesting to see. So it's going to be a tough postseason, but I think our kids are up for the challenge.
Well, Coach, good luck to your team. I'm going to have you hand the headset back to Patrick. It was a lot of fun talking to you, and it's been a lot of fun watching your team this year.
Thank you.
Coming off a state tournament, didn't quite know what to expect, and I think your team has met their expectations and then some, and they've been a lot of fun for Blue Jay fans to watch this year.
Yeah, appreciate it. I think we've had a pretty good season ourselves. So
right.
We'll hand this over to Patrick. Thanks for having me up here.
You bet.
I didn't want to be left out. I listened to you.
Well, good. I'm glad. Did you have any questions for Coach Anderson that you didn't get to ask?
Oh, I got a lot of questions for him, but I don't think I can ask him now. He walked away.
And maybe it wouldn't be appropriate to ask those on the air either. But Coach Anderson, tremendous guy. Of course, he's our Morris Elementary principal. Came here from PCM, where he had been an elementary principal there as well.
You got a lot of PCM comments.
Yeah,
Are you
I know.
a PCM
well,
guy?
I'd assume leave the M out. I'm a PC guy. And
what was that mascot again?
Prairie City. We were the Plainsmen.
Plainsmen.
Yeah. We had the coonskin caps and the rifles and the.
And Monroe Settlers.
They were the Wildcats. They were the Wildcats. We thought about the Wild Men would have been a good hybrid name. There's a road between Prairie City and Monroe called Diamond Trail, maybe the Diamond Trail Blazers. But they settled on PCM. Very creative. Anyway, here we are.
Here we are in Bondurant.
Yeah, another Jasper County team, Newton.
Who no longer plays Prairie City Monroe. Jackson Freed lay-in, gets the bucket to start off the second half on the scored side.
Good start there with Jackson. Had 5 in the first half, so he adds to that.
Collison was your leading scorer for the Blue Jays with 16 in the first half. For the Cardinals, they had Caleb Mattis with 5, Brody Bauer with 5, Tade Vanderlane with 6, and Cole Plowman with 5.
A lot of balance. Very good balance from Newton.
Bauer, 3, off the rim, no good. Meyer tries to tip it to himself, but ends up in the hands of Cale Swartz, and he gets the 2-point bucket.
Those long rebounds, they come back to bite you, and that's Swartz's first bucket of the game.
He started the game, but I don't feel like he was in a whole lot in that first half.
Didn't have a ton of minutes, did he? Newton stays in there man-to-man.
Meyer brings it around the top. Free to McDowell. Going to get it out to Collison.
Good patience out of the Blue Jays, up 9 here early in the third quarter. Always a crucial part to get off to a good start, set the tone for the rest of the game.
Free drive, spins, pump fakes, right hand's going to be short. Cale Swartz gets the rebound there.
Nice move by Jackson, just couldn't finish that off.
Engel with the three-point attempt is no good. Tipped into the hands of Bauer, who tries to feed Plowman and does, and gets the left-handed lay-in.
Another long rebound that leads to a second chance. Just tears a coach apart.
Meyer gets it to Collison. Adam Mattis is on him. McDowell for 3. No good. Adam Mattis gets the rebound. Swartz out to Bauer. Now back into Swartz. Right hand, no good. Collison rebound. Collison over to Meyer. Brings it back out, and now we slowed down. Free to McDowell. McDowell pull up free throw line. 2.
Well, that's something that's something Trey's put a lot of time into. That's not an easy shot. Oh, the student section just woke up.
I was going to say, it's like they were sitting until, but we had already scored.
Yeah.
They must have missed that one. That ball's out of bounds on free to
football
kick.
Helmets might be squeezing their brains a little too hard or something.
Could be.
I don't know. It's helmet night, apparently.
It's helmet night.
I would have worn my bike helmet if I'd known that. We both could have.
It wouldn't go great with the headset.
The headset would make it challenging.
Engel finds Swartz. Back out to Bauer. Bauer for 3, and he hits.
That's a good kick out from Swartz. Knew where his teammate was. Found him. Wide open 3.
Meyer shot short into the hands of Bauer. Bauer pull up and foul on the floor.
Yeah. I don't want to say it's a lackadaisical effort right now by the Blue Jays, but just not laser sharp focus that you would see if maybe it was a Winterset or a Carroll or a Ballard in the gym. You know, sometimes that unfamiliar opponent, and right now it kind of feels that way, so they're going to have to find their mojo a little bit here. Newton's just going to stay in this game or find a way to take the lead.
Adam Mattis with the left-handed lay-in, and Coach Evans is going to take the timeout.
Yeah.
You know, I noticed as we were warming up during halftime there, our shots just looked a little like we were just having fun instead of focus from a few guys.
Yeah.
And, you want to buckle in here a little bit and get that W.
Well, the worst thing you can do right now is get into bad habits, because bad habits grow exponentially. You can't undo them, and you get into bad habits in a game like this, it's going to carry over into Thursday, and you're looking at an early out. Now that's maybe a little bit of hyperbole and
but it's
maybe a little
before.
over the top, but it can happen. It's your worst fear as a coach, especially. What did we come into the Winterset game? We'd won 6 or 7 in a row.
Yeah.
Really, really playing well. Gave a great effort against Winterset, just not good enough against a very, very game Winterset team that night. And again, we don't want to sell Newton short. This is a good ball club out of a good conference. A lot of guys that can put the ball in the basket. But on your home court, gearing up for tournament time, you want to see a better effort. We'll see if here in the last 4:37 of the third quarter, if the Blue Jays can kind of find a little life again after leading by 11, and now that lead has shrunk to 4.
Meyer inbound to McDowell. Good student section support for the Cardinals as well. We'd love to see the teams travel like that. Freed with the ball over to McDowell. Collison now has Swartz on him.
Yeah, I think Newton might be in a zone now. Maybe a 2-3 zone. Yep.
McDowell finds Collison in the paint, gets the 2-point bucket.
18 for Colby.
Good job finding space there in the middle by Colby, and then Trey did a good job getting the pass to him quick to be able to make something happen.
That could be a one and done for Newton in that zone. I just think the Blue Jays are a comfortable team against a zone. Now, they weren't so much against Winterset the other night, but if Newton's not a team that plays typically a lot of zone, that was a flop, my friend. I think Trey fouled him, but that was also a flop.
Yeah.
We really don't have a flop rule here in high school basketball, but
Trey made contact. He didn't not make contact, but the kid falling 4 feet was not because of Trey's bump.
It looked like Bauer got hit by a cannonball.
I just watched the replay. I don't know if Newton has a play coming up, but drama might be a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Free throw, no good.
Reed Falsgraf in for Nolan Meyer.
Everett White out by the 3-point line, pulling the post out.
Newton back out of that zone and back into their man-to-man.
Falsgraf with it, has it tipped away, goes back and gets it. Now he's driving. Gets it out to Collison. Good job cutting off the drive by Caleb Mattis.
Looks like they're going to reset the offense here, run a little something out of a box set, kind of their UCLA action.
White finds Freed under the hoop. Pump fake shot, good.
Great vision by Everett White, but a better back cut by Jackson Freed to get himself open. Jackson's game around the basket has really improved here in the last 3 or 4 home games that we've seen him.
He was very heavy on the 3-point line, and now he's been going to the hoop a lot more. You're absolutely right. Adam Mattis shot no good. Tips it back out, or that was Plowman. I'm sorry, to Adam Mattis. Plowman's good this time with the left hand.
Ooh, offensive rebounds are the bane of the Blue Jays' existence now.
Shot up, no good. Plowman with the rebound. Caleb Mattis driving to the hoop, gets up there, and gets the lay-in.
Yeah.
Blue Jays are up by 1 with 2:11 remaining in the third.
That was a defensive play, not indicative of how Reed Falsgraf typically plays defense. Kind of allowed his offensive player to get on his hip and go by him.
Now Everett White dumps it into Colby. Loses it on the way up into the hands of Jackson. Blue Jays reset outside. A little spacing issue there. Everett was the only one that didn't join that corner. Jackson, pump fake, drive, dump off to Collison for 2.
Good work between those two there. Good offense from the Blue Jays. 5 2-point field goals, no threes in this quarter. Really getting kind of whatever they want in the lane area, but the threes and the offensive rebounds on this end is what's been the biggest problem so far.
Vanderlane kicks it out. Plowman now coming around. Bauer again with the ball. Adam Mattis over to Caleb Mattis. Inside Vanderlane. Tried to throw it to Plowman, but Plowman had already cut. That's going to be an over the back. Swartz going to come back in for the Cardinals, and Titus Cram coming in for the Blue Jays. Plowman to the bench for the Cardinals, and Everett to the bench for the Blue Jays.
Let's see if Titus can give a little spark. Maybe we'll see a little three-quarter court press action here off a made basket and see if Titus can give his team a spark with his ability to do some things defensively.
53 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Cram at the free throw line. Freed at the top. Drives. Kicks it out to Falsgraf. Falsgraf might have been blocked on that. McDowell gets the rebound.
I think we might see one shot now from Coach Evans' team.
26 seconds on the clock. Blue Jays up by 3.
Trey's just going to hold it out there. No closely guarded, so no 5 count. Probably going to start the offense.
Now we're at 10 seconds. Falsgraf to Collison. Collison has it tipped away. Caleb Mattis going to the hoop. Reed blocks it, and they call a foul. And it looked
goodness gracious.
Looked like a lot of ball.
Let's see. Oh, he says he hit him on the head.
Really?
That's what he said. Said he hit him on the head. Tapped his head. If he had said it was on the hand, I was gonna put this headset down and go down there and tell them he's wrong. Probably wouldn't do that.
Caleb Mattis' first free throw is good. Probably wouldn't be advisable. And amazingly enough, it definitely doesn't change the call.
Yeah, Blue Jays won the end of each of the first 2 quarters, but Newton's going to win this one.
1.3, McDowell full court, off the top of the backboard, no good. Blue Jays go into the fourth quarter with a 1-point lead, really needing to reconfigure their game plan this quarter because that third quarter was not what you were looking for.
Yeah, an 18-10 advantage for Newton, and yeah, the game's not really trending where you want it to go for the Blue Jays. And again, I don't think offense is the problem. You know, maybe a little execution there at the end of the quarter, but they've run some good action, have gotten some shots in the paint. No threes to speak of, but when you're getting what you want in the lane, it's really on the other end with some threes, some fouls that are a little uncharacteristic, and those offensive rebounds. So they're going to have to shut that down if they're going to come out of here with a win tonight. And, sometimes it's not whether you play your best, it's whether you play just well enough. And I'm thinking at this point, with 8 minutes to go, I think that's what Coach Evans is hoping for. Let's see if we can just get out of here without taking another one on the chin.
Blue Jays are going to have Falsgraf, Freed, McDowell, Collison, and Cram on the court. For the Cardinals, it's going to be Swartz, Mattis, Bauer, and Vanderlane. Bauer takes the ball on backcourt.
This is probably your best offensive unit for the Blue Jays. We'll see if they can get some stops defensively.
Adam Mattis hasn't really put a lot of points on the board as their leading scorer.
And part in part because he's been guarded by a really good defender in Colby Collison.
Bauer over to Mattis. Over to Caleb Mattis. Mattis looks to get to the baseline again. And I think Pfaltzgraff might have got a piece of that one. And they're calling a foul on Titus.
Might be Swartz came flying in to get the offensive rebound. Mattis showed really good quickness to get that baseline drive. Got a shot knocked away, but Swartz there with the good possession on that end for Swartz to get the bucket and the offensive rebound to prolong that possession.
Pfaltzgraff pulls it out, gives it to Cram.
Newton with their first lead, maybe of the game.
Of the game. We started out 5-0 lead. Collison over to Pfaltzgraff, back into Collison. Good spin move.
That's called spin to win right there.
That's the circle button.
And this is the end where it's got to happen.
Caleb Mattis has McDowell on him. Adam Mattis for three. Air ball, no good. Jackson Freed gets the rebound. Pfaltzgraff driving ahead. Crossover. And lays it high off the backboard. And he's going to the line for two. A really late whistle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You can see the Newton bench is a little frustrated by that. I think Reed did take body to the side, kind of took a side body check there. Great drive, aggressive play by Reed.
But I don't think whether you fall down determines whether it was a foul. Pfaltzgraff hits the first. Nolan Meyer coming in. Trey McDowell to the bench. You got Jake Engel and Cole Plowman coming in. Bauer and Swartz to the bench for the Cardinals. Pfaltzgraff's second free throw pending.
See who's going to pick up Caleb Mattis. I think he's really caused a lot of havoc on the Blue Jay defense with his ability to drive the basketball as Reed
I think you're
knocks the second free throw down.
You're going to see Reed. No? Are we switching into a zone?
No, we're going to see Titus.
Okay.
On.
Adam Mattis with the ball. Over to Caleb Mattis. Vanderlane drives, gets low, gets it blocked. I don't know if it's Freed or Pfaltzgraff. There's a lot of arm through there.
A lot of length.
Freed to Collison in the corner for three. Good.
I'm going to tell you what, that shows a lot of growth and maturity from Jackson Freed as a player. Earlier this season, he absolutely would have pulled the trigger there on what would have been a slightly contested shot, but his teammate has shot beyond well from the three all night, and he saw Colby in the corner there, gave it up unselfishly. That's a good sign for this team, amongst maybe some not great signs tonight, but super play by Jackson to give that up to Colby for the three.
The Blue Jays up now 6 with 5.5 to go. We've been talking how we're gearing up for postseason basketball. It's also postseason wrestling time right now. Blue Jays qualified 6 wrestlers to go wrestle at the Well starting Thursday. I believe they're trying to do a celebration party send-off at 10:30 in the morning on Thursday. So hopefully we can get a good crowd to line down Grant Street and support Reed, Connor, Cody, Max, Chase, and Porter as they qualified for state wrestling, and their action starts at 1:30 on Thursday.
Great job by Coach Matt Wetterlin and his staff. They've really rebuilt this program into what it once was. Multiple state qualifiers and doing it in Class 3A, which is arguably one of the best classes of wrestling in the nation.
The biggest class for wrestling, if you didn't know that.
Yes.
I assumed you knew that, but I meant people listening to listening to basketball thinking, well, we're 3A in basketball too. Well, there's only 3 classes in wrestling.
Right. Good box out by Nolan Meyer there. Seeing a little added life to this team right now. It was maybe lacking in the third quarter.
Pfaltzgraff now drives into the lane. Dump off to Meyer. A little bunching problem there. We're going to spread it back out.
No spacing. Coach Evans calls out power.
The Kanye song?
This is a dip down for Colby in the post. Ooh.
Kicks it out to Freed for three. Good.
You know what?
That's a Freed pointer, that's what.
You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours is what that was.
Adam Mattis out to Engel. Engel drives in, dumps it off to Plowman, who has it blocked by Jackson now. Jackson going the other way, dumps off to Falsgraf, and he took an extra step.
Yep. Just did not keep that right foot down, which he established as the pivot foot. And I'm not saying that was going to be the knockout blow because I'm not going to count this Newton team out, but you go up 11 there, and you like your chances. But this unit on the floor right now is defending better than any unit that we've seen all night. They're kind of locking things down, and then just some unselfish passing.
Bauer finds Caleb Mattis. Mattis pulls for three. Off the rim, no good. Into the hands of Jackson Freed.
Rebounding now, that's the key.
Meyer pushes that. Collison gets it, and got a foul on Caleb Mattis.
Is that on Plowman? No, it was on Mattis, you're right.
His second.
So we're just under 4 here, so every possession gets to be a little bit bigger.
Blue Jays have a 9-point lead now. Inbound to Cram.
Titus barely able to gather that, but Plowman gives the foul. And Newton has some fouls to give here.
But
they don't want to wait too much longer.
That's the third on Plowman. Collison for three.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Mattis was waiting for that screen from Titus, and Colby just said,
wasn't.
You know what? I'm just going to pull.
I believe that's the 5th three of the game for Colby. Caleb Mattis gets the ball under the hoop, kicks it out to Bauer for three. Off the rim, no good. And that's going to be off, I think, Falsgraf, maybe Collison.
Yeah.
They were trying to get the ball away from Plowman. And
a much more concerted effort to rebound now, though.
Bauer gets it into Caleb Mattis.
Now we're in a 2-3 zone.
Vanderlane.
I think we have been the last couple possessions. I'm just not paying attention. That looked like a travel.
It kind of did, right? Adam Mattis kicks it out to Vanderlane for three. And he's fouled and shoots the three. Or hits the three.
Yeah.
Either we're closing out in a different way than we normally do, or the foul on that is being called more aggressively in this, because I just don't feel like I've seen that much this year.
Well, you got to give the shooter room to come down. I mean, that is a certainty. But we've seen that all season long not be called, and then we've seen it 2 or 3 times tonight.
Which, I mean, based off of that doesn't make it the wrong call. It's just inconsistent with how it's been handled most of the year.
Yep, and this is a good veteran crew. These are guys that have worked state tournaments.
Whoa. Did you just compliment the officials?
I usually am I love the guys in the striped shirts. I'm big fans of all of them.
Titus Cram, right hand up and good.
You know, we haven't seen Titus score the basketball much here, since his injury situation. Getting a little more offense out of him here in these next, as we make that tournament run, is going to be maybe one of the keys to success. Not that that's one of the things that he really provides the team is a lot of offense, but when he can score the basketball, it just adds another dimension to this team. Right now, Jackson Freed is just protecting the basket, a real rim protector, making things a lot tougher on Newton than we have all night.
Adam Mattis with the ball over to Caleb Mattis. Knocked away by Cram, into the hand of Swartz. Vanderlane now with the ball. He drives, high float, and gets the bucket.
Quick timeout from Newton. Newton looks, they don't look comfortable right now offensively. They're struggling. A couple buckets there from Vanderland, but they look comfortable from the midway point of that third quarter and early into the fourth quarter, and then this defensive intensity has just changed a little bit. Some great unselfish passing on the offensive end. Now we got the battle of the birds going on in here with the student section.
You can hear him tweeting away. Blue Jays currently 9-point lead, right about 2 minutes remaining in the game. It'll be a Blue Jay ball as we come out of this timeout. It looks like McDowell was checking back in.
And this is, again, another thing situationally that you want to be good at when you go into postseason. Protecting that lead, protecting that 6, 7, 8, 9-point lead late in the game with superior ball handling, making your free shots, not giving up anything easy on the defensive end, not putting the other team on the foul line. Those are the things that you really want to avoid in these 2-3-minute situations when you're trying to close out a game. Newton's going to come with a little 2-2-1 three-quarter court pressure.
Blue Jays have Collison, McDowell, Falsgraf, Freed, and Meyer on the court. For the Cardinals, you got Caleb Mattis, Bauer, Vanderlane, Adam Mattis, and Swartz. Collison hits Freed, who's fouled and gets the bucket. Foul by Cale Swartz.
That was a little bit of NBA continuation. I'm kind of surprised that
they let it go.
That Jackson got the and one. If he's listening to this later tonight, he's going to go, absolutely, that was an and one. But could have been easily.
He was
called
in
on
the air
floor.
that whole time. It's levitation, Holmes.
Jackson's working his way up to a nice night now with 14 points.
That was his 15th.
He's got some assists. .point lead, under 2 now.
Meyer picks it up at the full court. Engel drives. Hands off Caleb Mattis. Out to Vanderlane for 3. Off the rim. No good. Rebound, Reed Falsgraf.
Attaboy.
And he's fouled.
Attaboy. One more to the bonus still, so Newton has one more. No more to give. That was their last one to give.
That's Caleb Mattis, his third foul.
Good strong rebound by Reed, and good sign of times for Coach Hamas seeing Reed get up like he hopes to see him do in the high jump this year.
Not for a little bit. Still the wrong season for that.
Yeah.
Adam Mattis, I think, is going to draw the foul on that one.
And you got Trey in the game right now for this very reason, amongst others, but this reason in particular.
Hits the first. 80% free throw shooter on the season. He's at 80. Jackson's at 76. Colby's at 68.
He's going to be right at his average if he makes that one, and he does. 14-point lead. Newton had the lead in this fourth quarter, Patrick.
They did. Engel for 3. Off the rim. No good. Falsgraf with another rebound and is fouled on that one as well.
It's pretty simple when you rebound the basketball. And that's not an easy thing to make happen. It's effort. It's the want to. And you've seen that from Reed Falsgraf. You've seen it from Colby Collison. You've seen it from Jackson Freed. Those two guys checking out really kind of carried their teams tonight, carried their team a little bit tonight through some rough patches.
Falsgraf's first one, no good. Toby Bergman checks into the game and gets a quick rebound and is fouled by Bauer on that one.
Yep. Toby's going to head to the line. Sweet shooting number 33.
You know what we haven't had tonight?
A dunk.
That too. A single request from an official to have a player tuck in a jersey.
That's true.
That's rare. That's the fifth one on Caleb Mattis.
Yep.
So he is fouled out.
Mattis was a handful during that run by the Cardinals in that third quarter and early fourth quarter. He was a tough kid to guard, created a lot of problems.
Just a sophomore.
This is a good-looking Newton team. It just seems like they couldn't quite hang here in the fourth quarter when it looked like they had a shot to maybe take the lead and pull away.
Bergman's first free throw is good to put him in the scoring sheet. Second one good as well.
Good stroke from Toby.
Adam Mattis and Cale Swartz and Trayson Garton are the only seniors listed, I believe, for them. So Vanderland for 3, Off the rim, no good. Falscraft got into.
Going to call Nolan Meyer for a hold on a box out, looks like. And if you're Coach Evans, you can live with that foul.
Sure.
You can live with that foul on a box out. It shows that you're battling to keep them off the boards. That's better than just letting the guy go around.
They're going to call Nolan on that one, too, as he's trying to fight through that screen.
I'm interested to see what happened there. I think Nolan felt like he was grabbed on.
Nolan did, yeah. You can tell by the reaction he gave. He's like, hey, they were holding me.
Yep, I'm watching on instant replay right now. And
Vanderlane will go to the line.
Yeah, he pushed off. Engel pushed off to get open, and then Nolan shoved his way through the screen and got called. So it's always the second guy, Nolan. Common knowledge.
I thought that's just how you went through a screen. You just double leg. Vanderlane hits both. Blue Jays with a 14-point lead. 1 minute on the clock. As soon as we get the ball in, and Falscraft ends up with the ball. Vanderlane with a quick foul.
Reed will have 2 free throws now with the double bonus. Student section might be calling for the fun bunch there on the end of the bench, but I don't think
Coach
you're
gonna
Evans. He doesn't look like he's in the
mood.
humor tonight to empty the bench clear. And he wants to give seniors Toby Berger and Carter Sandy some time here in what will be their second to the last home game. They will finish out their Blue Jay careers regular season-wise against Indianola this Thursday. There, Reed gets us to 70.
Falscraft hits one out of the two. Is it senior night on Thursday then?
Yes.
It should be, right?
Yes.
All right. Engel over to Vanderlane. 48 seconds on the clock, and Vanderlane hits another.
Yeah, he's had a nice little run here in this half.
I think that's his 4th-3 of the game. Sandy gets it over to Meyer. That's a 10-second violation, huh?
That was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 call there.
Actually, might have been 9 at worst, based off the replay that was just in front of me. It wasn't
Patrick,
as bad as
I have a
thought.
clock in my head. I'm a former coach. I have that clock in my head. That was not 10 seconds.
I said it might have been 9. Adam Mattis for 3 off the rim, no good. Garten with the rebound out to Vanderlane again, who pulls up 3, no good.
Nolan Meyer still battling underneath there for boards. Love seeing that.
We're at 14 seconds on the clock. Engel stepping up the pressure on McDowell. Gets it over to Bergeron. We're at 6 seconds now, and that's going to take us into the end of the game. Blue Jays are going to win this one 70-58. So after a nerve-wracking third quarter, Blue Jays go ahead and pull away with this one.
I was not counting on a double-digit lead when Newton took the lead there early in the fourth quarter, but kind of turned into a ho-hummer. And I think, again, the key there was, number one, the Blue Jays finally decided to rebound the basketball there in the fourth quarter. Those long rebounds that kind of haunted them the whole night up to that point. They buckled down defensively, and then we saw 2 back-to-back plays. One where Jackson Freed shared the ball with Colby Collison for an open 3, and then Colby returned the favor to Jackson on a bucket underneath the basket. And that from that point on, it really wasn't much of a game as the Blue Jays pulled away. And I still think Coach Evans is going to walk into that locker room right now and say, "Boys, we got some stuff to work on before we get into Thursday night and into next week when it's win or go home."
Absolutely. 70-58 final. A few leading scorers for you for the Cardinals. They were led by Tate Vanderlane, who had 4 3-pointers on his way to 16 points. Brody Bauer, 11 points off of 3 3-pointers. 9 points for Cole Plowman and Caleb Mattis. 6 for Adam Mattis, 4 for Swartz, and 3 for Engel. For the Blue Jays, led by Colby Collison with 28, evenly 16 in the first, 12 in the second. Jackson Freed followed that up with 15. Colby had 5 3-pointers. Jackson had 2. Trey ended up with 10 points, and I don't think any of them were three-pointers.
Nope.
Which is rare for him. 5 points for Nolan Meyer and Reed Faltzgraf, 3 for White, 2 for Berggren, and 2 for Cram. So overall, you got the points you probably, I guess, above your scoring average for the Blue Jays. They averaged 63, 64 on the season, and they got up to 70. And they held the Cardinals just under their scoring or just over their scoring. They averaged 53, and they got to 58. But
right.
So, yeah, overall, not a flawless game.
No,
but a solid game.
Not a ho hum effort. This is a good Newton team. Maybe not at that caliber of a Winterset, a Ballard, some of the teams that we've really battled with this year in our conference, but Newton's also seen their share of the battlefield this year with the Pellas and the Norwalks, the DCGs. So I call this a quality win. I think Coach Evans probably would have rather not seen his team surrender the lead there in the fourth quarter, and there's some things to work on.
But they fought back.
Yeah, and I don't think you're going to see a lack of intensity when Indianola comes to town on Thursday night, and you're not going to see that lack of intensity. So we got to remember these are 16, 17-year-old kids, and it's hard to get up and have that focus night in and night out. But I think we have a fairly clear-cut pick for our
Legacy Bank player of the game. You think 28 points gets you there?
Yeah, and really a balanced 28-16 in the first half for Colby, 12 in the second half, 3 threes in the first half to really get his team going, and then kind of in the middle of everything in that fourth quarter when his team had to come from behind, scoring, assisting, rebounding, contesting shots on the defensive end when this game was still in doubt. So Colby Collison is our Legacy Bank player of the game. Legacy Bank.
Building legacies one customer at a time.
Yes.
So for that, I think that's going to do it for tonight. Thursday, check out the Wrestlers during the day at 1:30, and then come in here Thursday night for a game against Indianola.
See you Thursday. Go Blue Jays.
Good night and go Blue Jays.